Welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel. I'm your host Alberto, and this is another episode of Juve Today where I will share the news circulating around our beloved old lady and give my thoughts and opinions on the news and look to hear yours and see how us as Juventini feel as a whole about what's going around with the club. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out stripedheartsapparel.com, our sponsor for many great Juventus-based designs on merchandise. Now, without further ado, let's get to the news. Right out of the gate, today is May 29th, so we celebrate and show respect to the 39 fallen angels. That's right. The Hazel disaster took place on May 29th, 1985, where 39 fans were lost. So we always pay our respects, which is why I'm wearing the Addistone kit today to show respect for that day where many football fans, just like you and I, went to watch their team play in a European final and didn't even get to make it home to see their loved ones. So an awful disaster that we always pay tribute to those 39 angels that we lost on this day. So it is the Hazel disaster anniversary, I guess, where we pay tribute to those 39. Now, without further ado, the news surrounding players, management, and everything involving Juventus. Locatelli, very much so the main target in Juventus midfield. This has been clear for a long period of time. However, there are some hints that Allegri could be looking to bring back some nostalgia in terms of Miralem Pjanic. I cannot see this happening. A Pjanic return. There's no doubt in my mind that Allegri would feel strongly about Pjanic based on the history between the two. But honestly, the regression was there. Pjanic was a great, solid player for his time through Juventus. But towards the end there, the regression was there. I don't see a need to go that route. And if Locatelli is the main target, I don't see a scenario where we have Locatelli and Pjanic regardless. But I don't think we should go after Pjanic anyways because the regression was there. But of course, I love hearing your thoughts, so drop your comments there. The other part of this is that it says Ramsey and even Artur, who just came in that Pjanic swap, would be on their way out. So we all know Ramsey is public enemy number one in terms of who we need to release. He came in on a free. He's had, of course, which is just, he's very familiar with injury struggles. Didn't play a whole lot, didn't really get to make an impact. He's kind of got to go based on a free, based on the team trying to build up enough capital before the end of June. Ramsey's got to go. But Artur, to get rid of him for the number that he came in, which was a great deal in that Pjanic art swap, we showed a lot of capital gains on Artur. To try and get rid of him for an amount of money that we show for him is going to be next to impossible. So I do not see a situation where Artur leaves. Yeah, so that's my take on that. Personally, I think Locatelli's coming in. Ramsey will be the one they're pushing to move out. And that's a probably where it will end in terms of that. But again, drop your comments. Now, big one, CR7, Pogba swap, picking up a little bit of steam, but it has been notified to Nicola Shira, who's obviously a very big name in journalism out there, that Manchester United has inquired about Cristiano Ronaldo to his agent, Jorge Mendes. Okay. And it is very apparent and has been for a while that Pogba has been looking for a way out of Man United for a couple seasons now. So where does this kind of all stand? Allegri and Pogba have a great relationship. So Pogba has a great relationship with a lot of the Juventus players currently on there. So CR7 could be looking to make his way out, obviously. is Manchester United what he had in mind for clubs to move to? Possibly his return to England, but nobody's really sure about what he's doing. Does he want to go back home? Does he want to go to Sporting and just finish up? Does he still think he's got a few more years in the bag at the top? I don't really know. So it'll be an interesting to watch this one. But I remember, as the rumors have always held Juventus very, very tight to Paul Pogba. And I've seen such a split amongst Juventini that it's pretty wild to see. But Paul Pogba, would you take him back? Would you want him back? For me, it's an automatic yes. Loved how he turned into this world-class midfielder with Juventus out of nowhere. I think we paid 400 to 800K or something, 400 to 800,000 for him, and he developed into this incredible young world-class talent. So I'm always yes. Call it nostalgic, call it whatever. I've always rated Paul Pogba. But what do you think? Would you want Paul Pogba back? Or what's a different deal that you would like to see Cristiano Ronaldo used in? Some are saying bring Icardi in from PSG and get CR7 over there if that were a possibility. Let's just talk hypothetically. I personally do not want to see Icardi anywhere near Juventus. That's just me personally. And even just watching him, he had a year with a high-powered offense at PSG, and he didn't really impress me every time I saw. So that's just me. But again, love hearing your takes. So drop your comments on that. Now, keeping Dybala. It's heavily rumored now that Allegri wants to keep Dybala regardless if Cristiano Ronaldo stays or not. So now we are watching to see when Juventus will reopen the discussion with Paulo Dybala and his agent to start working on that extension. This extension has gone on far too long. Whether he's leaving or staying, I've been saying for so long, they just need to sort it out and move on and figure things out. So now looks like Allegri's all signs are pointing to him wanting to keep Dybala. So again, this has been one that fans have been split on all season long. Do you think we should move on from Dybala or should we keep him? Drop your comments in the video here. Now, Kellini. It is now being rumored after all the speculation that this would be the end of his time at Juventus, that he's looking at extending for another season. I'm fine with that if that's the case. I mean, I'm very, very much concerned about his health and his ability to stay healthy throughout the season. I think it's just something that we're going to have to deal with and just won't happen. He won't stay healthy for an entire season if he stays. However, he is very, very valuable and did show that he could play some very, very solid minutes still against the best. So keeping him around is not an issue by any means. Leonardo Bonucci, weird rumors where I mentioned yesterday saying that his future was uncertain and that he and Allegri would meet up. He put a post up on Twitter there just saying basically welcome back Allegri, and probably just to stop those rumors and hush them because it didn't make sense why all of a sudden his future would be in question for a guy that has become manager that brought him back after he left for Milan. It didn't really quite make sense. So if Bonucci and Kellini stay around, maybe that is the freedom that gives Juventus the ability to move Demiral. And this is another one that fans are split on, moving him or not. I think if the deal's right, maybe you could do it. I'd hate to see him go because I think he's a great talent and he's young. Sure, he still needs to be polished, but I don't really know. I'm not against keeping Kellini around another year, but to sacrifice some good young future talent is a little bit questionable. So especially from what we've been seeing, and needing to start to develop that new spine. But there are some names out there floating around at center back that could potentially help. But we will have to see. Your thoughts on Kellini staying for another season? Drop them in the comments. Now, Alexandro now rumored to stay now that Allegri has returned. And Allegri thinks very, very highly of him and still has confidence in him. Everybody knows. I think Sandro's time as a true left back has been dwindling for some time now. I did like him in a 3 center back scenario where he was one of those center backs. I think he could extend his career by doing that. But as a true left back, I think he's not capable of doing all phases anymore. That's just me personally. But let's see what you think. Alexandra looking to stay. Next up, CEO position. It seems that Maurizio Arrivabene, formerly from the Ferrari F1 team, will be coming in. He looks like he's got top position over Giovanni Carnavelli, who's current CEO of Sassuolo. And basically Maurizio Arrivabene, again, ties to Ferrari, ties to Elkan and whatnot. He ran their team for about 3 or 4 years, I believe, before they moved on. An older gentleman, but pretty old school. And he has been a member, an independent member of the Juventus board since 2012. So there are connections there. Very, very interesting to see. As far as the position, what he would be doing what Marotta did when he was here. Because even though Paratici kind of took over, it hasn't been the same since Marotta left, and nobody's really truly been CEO. So they're looking to reform that structure again with Maurizio Arrivabene. Now, Donnarumma. Donnarumma is coming up with a lot of interest, obviously, between PSG, Barcelona, and Juventus. Barca pushing very, very hard. And the word around Juventus camp is that they will not give up an inch and that they've been working on Donnarumma since September. All right. So it looks like they are going to go all in. The Juve is going to continue to push and that they are going to go all out on Donnarumma. I like this. But there's also the other side of things that say we have to move Szczesny first. I do think Szczesny has a market, but this will be very, very interesting. And Szczesny has a big fan in Allegri. Allegri likes Tech a lot. So this will be an interesting one to see because all the guys involved, Ter Stegen at Barcelona, Donnarumma, Szczesny, none of those guys are going to play backup. And I don't believe they should. They're all top-notch keepers that should be starting. And Ter Stegen just locked up not that long ago on extending his stay there at Barca. So this will be an interesting one to see. I think, Juve shouldn't have an issue finding a suitor for Tech if they want Donnarumma in. And I think we'll see a move. We might have to wait till after the Euros. So we'll see what happens there. Last, certainly not least, Alvaro Morata. Juventus and Atletico Madrid continue to talk about the loan and renewing. It's staying at 10 million euros. I believe Juventus was trying to possibly talk about some alternative scenarios. Alvaro Morata, 10 million euros to loan him and renew that loan. Do you do it for next season? For me, it's easily yes. We have some other positions that I think we need to bolster. Midfield, left back, those ones for sure. We do need an alternative 9, but Morata could fill that void to start off with. Get somebody maybe younger to kind of work alongside him, behind him. I think a big part about this, we'll see where the other pieces land. What's Ronaldo's future like? What's going to happen there? Could we use him perhaps to get that other 9, or will Ronaldo work to get us a midfielder? All these other things have to come together before we see. But just the straight up question of renewing Morata for 10 million euros, regardless of all those other scenarios and what happens, I still say it's a yes. But I want to hear your opinions. Drop your comments in the comment section here on how you feel about all the news here. A possible Pjanic reunion, the CR7 Pogba swap. Would you take Pogba back? How you feel about Kellini renewing? How you feel about keeping Dybala? Drop it all there. Love hearing from you, Juventini. And of course, please remember to hit that like button. It all helps. Subscribe to the channel. Join us tomorrow as we have a live podcast where you can take part in the discussion where we cover all the news with our all Juvecast team. That'll be exciting. And of course, please check out the sponsor, stripedheartsapparel.com. Until tomorrow, Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao.